The purple tomato was a new to me variety this year, and I was really excited for it. And this is one that has stirred up so much controversy because it is a GMO tomato. But I think while there can be drawbacks to GMOs, I think that they have gotten a bad reputation, and I don't think that they are completely bad. And these tomatoes have been bred for health benefits and were originally developed by Professor Kathy Martin and her team at the John Innes Center in Norwich, Norfolk, England, and then in 2002, the variety received USDA approval to be distributed in the United States under Norfolk Healthy Produce out of Davis, California, and has been reviewed by the FDA. Tomatoes do have the genes to produce anthocyanins, but they kind of need to be activated. Even other purple-skinned tomatoes had to be bred that way to activate that coloring in their genes. But the whole fruit won't be pigmented, just the skins. So they added two genes from snapdragon plants to create the purple color all throughout the tomato, including the inside, which means there's more antioxidants in these tomatoes. Growing this variety was fun. The seeds were really easy to germinate and they grew really well into some very robust seedlings. And I accidentally knocked off a fruiting stem, so I propagated it in water, and it was cool to see that even the roots were purple. On the vine, the tomatoes kind of look brown when they are ripening, and they don't look quite purple, and you could pick them at this stage and let them ripen further on your kitchen counter. But either way, you'll know when they are really ripe when they are a darker color. It's hard to tell from the outside that they actually are purple because they do almost look like a dark brown or black color, but when you cut them open, they are very purple inside. Now, I might be biased, especially since purple is one of my favorite colors, but this is a very nice looking tomato. But does it taste good? I think so. I have heard a lot of people who have grown it say that they have either really loved it or hated it, and a lot of people just felt indifferent to it. Some people have even said that it's bland, but I don't feel that way. I did test this variety on the Brix meter, and initially it had a reading of 6.8, but that was when I tried one that wasn't super ripe yet. It still felt kind of firm, but when I did a Brix meter testing on a riper tomato, it had a reading of 8, and typically anything over 8 is considered a sweet tomato, and I think that is true. I do feel like there is some sweetness to it, and while I will say the flavor isn't super unique or special, I still think it's tasty and it's very mild in acid. But either way, it wasn't bred necessarily for taste, it was bred for health benefits. But I'm glad that to me, it tastes good as well. Overall, I think it's pretty obvious that I will be growing this variety again. My dad grew these tomatoes as well, and his plants also did really well and were very robust, and he shares the same thoughts on the taste and will also continue to grow them. It is a very productive tomato variety, and I do enjoy eating them. And for the people who said the flavor was bland, it could just be their growing conditions that attributed to their opinions. And that can be true for any tomato variety or even any fruit or vegetable for that matter. You may have a different experience than me, but I do recommend growing it. However, there's a few things to note about growing the purple tomato. This variety is patented, so while you can save the seeds, you cannot sell them, and the seeds, plants, and fruits are only allowed in the USA. So you can't sell seeds, plant cuttings, or the actual fruit, let alone take it out of the country. And when buying the seeds, they do make you agree to these terms, and I imagine they would be able to shut down anyone who is not abiding by the agreement if you were found to be selling anything in relation to this variety, and you can only legally buy them from Norfolk Healthy Produce or one of their partners. However, you could give the seeds to someone, but if you do that, you should make them aware of the terms and conditions. Another thing is that because of all of the work and science involved in developing this variety, the seeds are quite expensive. It was $20 plus shipping for 10 seeds, but at least my pack had more than 10 seeds, and I shared the seeds with my dad, and now I can save the seeds for myself to use each year, so I won't have to buy the seeds again. So again, if you don't live in the USA, unfortunately you can't grow them yet, and they are a bit pricey, but after learning about them, I had to give them a try for science. And I'm glad that I did because, again, I personally really enjoy them. So if you're curious and have a garden in the US, treat yourself and splurge on them because even if you think they don't taste great, at least it's probably one of the healthiest tomatoes you can grow with all of those antioxidants.